get this show on the road.
Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. This time I am on a mission. I am trying to do Medium Tank Mission 9, the Incinerator, where I have to set 2 tanks on fire in one battle. That's right, 2. If you thought it was hard enough for the Stug and the T-28 HTC, when you get to the T-55A set, the 3rd set of the Incinerator, it is 2 tanks in the same battle. Now, this might look like complete RNG. I'm playing very aggressively at the start of this game, getting nailed in the side by 2 light tanks. Now, if I keep my frontal armor to the 5916, it's very unlikely that he's able to go through me. So what I'm doing is using this building to the right of me to avoid fire from the Centurion 7-1 while trying to take out the 5916. Now, I see that the 5916 is running away. I can plant one into the back of the T-71. And there is the first fire. A flush hit right into the back of that lightly armored American light tank. Secures the first fire of the game. Unfortunately, we couldn't finish him off. What an absolutely crazy start to this round, but that's what happens if you play aggressively. Now, that situation could have gone very bad. Both of those players were pretty skilled and experienced. Luckily for us, however, we basically figured out what the biggest danger was, and that is the T-71. The T-71 could penetrate this tank frontally, and it would guarantee probably about 900 damage if it's able to get the side or the rear of the tank. But thankfully, we used the building. He didn't want to waste his shots on destroying the building to try and get through to me. And keeping our armor to the very low caliber 5916 allowed us to take him out, and we took minimum punishment there. Now, unfortunately for us, we tried to fire blind at the T-71, and so we were unable to hit the Challenger as he advanced. But now, we're going to plant a shot into the back of the FCM-50T. Now, usually, I would aim at the turret there. The turret was the bigger shot. But I was so hungry to do this mission that I would rather take the risk to not hit the tank than to put one into the back, where hopefully I've got more of a chance to set him on fire. T-71's trying to get away. Not this time. We didn't miss the second shot there, thankfully. And I'm trying to back up Jingles, who's getting a butt kicking from the Challenger. And it looks like Jingles, unfortunately, got set on fire, perhaps for the 2nd time this game, and burns out. Now, I'm playing rather aggressively here in the Centurion 7-1. Why? Because I feel like I have to push the tempo. I've already got 1 fire in this game, and frankly, I'm very excited about the prospect of getting the 2nd one. This mission took me a good while to do. I'd probably say it took me maybe between 10 and 20 games. And in this one, I was just very lucky that both teams were playing quite passively. That happens quite a lot on this Crimean map's south coast. And when your team plays passively, that gives you more time to make calculated plays to hopefully be able to put the shots into the enemy team where you need to. Because of the slope, we didn't quite have the gun elevation to shoot the Tiger there, but we've spotted an ISU-152. That's the Tier 8 Soviet tank destroyer. Sounds like he just fired. Either way, we don't want to get hit by him. There's another ISU down the slope with the Yank Panther supporting him, but I want to go after this ISU first. He gets the ambush off on us. Wow, can you believe that he was sitting right there through the double bush? Luckily, we bounced a shot, and we find that due to his rate of fire, he was not using the BL-10. He must have been using the 122mm there. We come round the corner, and there's a Waffenträger auf Panzer IV and a Löwe that was last spotted. We put our first shot into the Waffenträger auf Panzer IV. The Löwe decides to advance at us. Oh gosh, there's a GW Tiger behind us. Go forwards to avoid his shell, then pull backwards to avoid the Löwe. We dodged 2 shots there. And unfortunately, the rate of fire on the Centurion 7-1 totally sucks, and it takes us ages to put the final shell into the GW Tiger P. When outnumbered like this, the Centurion 7-1 can struggle quite a lot. Luckily, we bait a shot into there. Well, we bait a shot from the levee onto our front plate, which bounces, and I feel like harassing him. But this Borsiger's got another idea as well. We race forwards, dodge a shell from him, and focus on what's important, and that's taking out this tier 10 German, sorry, tier 8 German heavy tank, the premium one. Our artillery removes most of his hit points, and I load Hesh shells. The Hesh shells on this tank, the premium ones, do cost quite a lot, but when you hit them, they do, I think it's 480 alpha damage on average with 210 millimeters of penetration. Right now, I was super stoked about how this game was going, but also very, very, very frustrated that my artillery were actually hitting their mark. I would have loved more than anything to have had an opportunity to shoot that Borsig in his lower plate again and maybe securing the second fire of the game. But there's still one hope for us to complete this incinerator mission, and that is to get this T-95. Now, a T-95 has got massive fuel tanks on the back. That's what I'm going to be going for. We track him on the way in. Unfortunately, he still has his repair kit, even 6 minutes into the game. He puts a huge shot into us, but he makes a mistake, and that is not reversing quick enough. Now we load more Hesh rounds, and let's just hope for luck. There's his fuel tanks around the back. One. Come on, baby. Light my fire. Yes! I did an absolute little celebration when this happened. And you can see that on my live stream. I'll put up a highlight of it. And I thought the game was over, and it might as well be over for me after setting that second tank on fire. As I said earlier, it took me about 10 or 20 games to do so. I was ecstatic. And I forgot, what? There's another tank to kill, and oh gosh, there he is. Quickly pull back. Doesn't look like he spotted us, however. Must have some rather poor view range, and that allows us to put a shot into the side of his turret. And it's a very rewarding feeling knowing, well, I get to play normal now. I completed my mission, so let's just slowly pick apart the C-75. Make sure we don't beat him with Top Gun. He fires one at us. We baited the shot. Took us a while to be able to see him there, but we put one right into his lower plate, but he was angling it downwards, which makes even the fantastic penetration of the Centurion 7-1 incapable of reliably going through. 268 millimeters of penetration on a tier 9 medium tank. He misses. We don't. That time it went right through, and we're slowly chipping away as the hit points, and the artillery finish him off. So what a fantastic result for the tier 9 British medium tank, the Centurion 7-1 this game. And thank you so much, Rico423, for providing me that fire. Those Hesh shells into the back of the tank, each one that went in, I felt like I was rolling a dice and just hoping that we would get it done. For any of you that are stuck on this incinerator mission, I thoroughly recommend high explosive ammunition, and if you've got it, Hesh ammunition from the British vehicles. If you manage to penetrate it into weakly armored parts of the enemy tank, then you are all the more likely to do that critical damage and set them on fire. To be able to do the first part of this mission, I think I did it in a Panther, and just got lucky shooting at the back of a T-54E1. To be able to do this mission, I even went as far as retraining my comet crew to give them Eagle Eye, I think it is, the thing that increases the chance for critical damage by 3%. And actually thinking about it, it's called the Deadeye perk, isn't it? 3% critical chance is the Deadeye perk. The Eagle Eye perk I also picked up to be able to establish if the enemy had damaged fuel tanks or a damaged engine. And after about 10 games in the Comet, I was starting to dislike one of my favorite tanks. And so I believe the best tactic is the high explosive and Hesh ammunition, such as is on the Centurion 7-1. Let's just take a very quick look at the post-game stats. So a fantastic result for the Centurion 7-1 here. We got 5,156 experience. I guess that's for our double. Yeah, that's 1,719 base. A steel wall medal, patrol duty, Confederate, and a high caliber. Let's see how much spotting we did. Wow, 3,500 spotting. And even though we damaged 11 tanks this game, we only killed 3, which is why we got the Confederate, the assistance medal. In this kind of a matchup, and with the way that we used our armor, it really couldn't have gone any better. We took 3,000 potential damage here of the 13 shells that hit our tank. Only 4 of them penetrated. Although I'm sure quite a lot of that came from the 59-16 at the start of the game. Still 6,400 damage, and that amount of assistance damage is a huge result for the Centurion 7-1. And I was just so lucky that the battle was kind of slow and drawn out, which very frequently happens on South Coast. It's probably one of the most passive maps. And if you're in a nice matchup and play aggressively like you saw me do here, taking control of the middle of the map, taking out their light tanks, who were very experienced players early on, meant that we could get 1 versus 1 engagements time after time after time. And that's really what this tier 9 British medium tank needs. It doesn't have the DPM to get itself out of trouble, only firing 5 rounds a minute, which is the lowest of any of the tier 9 medium tanks. But frontally, its armor is strong, and you reliably do that damage with the excellent aim time, accuracy, and penetration characteristics of this tank. So even though this result was pretty alright, it paled compared to the achievement of finally getting the incinerator mission done for the T-55A. And I am getting dangerously close to getting that gorgeous tier 9 German medium tank. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe it gave you some tips on how you can perform well in your Centurion 7-1, or indicated how you can manipulate RNG to be in your favor to get those fires with the HE and HESH that is on these British medium tanks. Either way, please consider giving the video a like down below. It really helps the channel out. And if this video has sparked your interest in the tier 9 British medium tank, the Centurion 7-1, then simply click up here and you can go through to a full tank review of the vehicle. And let me know in the comments down below what you guys have been thinking about Medium Tank Mission 7, the incinerator on either of the sets of vehicles. Has it been driving you absolutely mad? Or did you find that it was no problem? Did you get through it really quickly? And if you did, what was your key to victory? And anyway guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.